Now I'd like to go through how to create a cash flow record. An important thing to remember for the cash flow, the balance sheet, and the income statement is that they're dependent on data from the salary, revenue, and expense records. So for example, if you don't have salary, revenue, or expense data for the month of June, it won't be able to carry over into your cash flow, balance sheet, and income statement. So make sure that this data exists. So to enter a cash flow document, we're going to go ahead and click on Edit, and this will bring us into the cash flow record for the month of June. The format of the cash flow is significantly different from the salary, revenue, and expense. As I just mentioned, the cash flow document contains information from the salary, revenue, and expense records for the month of June. Here we have our cash received from sales, which represents revenues, our cash paid out to suppliers, which represents expense, as well as our salaries paid. We've gone ahead and entered information pertaining to utilities, for example, electricity and water, and this makes up our cash flow from operating activities. The total is right here. When we scroll down, we come to our cash flow from investments. We have proceeds from the sale of facility. If, for example, you have 3 factories and you decide to sell one of them, the price that you sell it for is what you would enter here. We have maintenance of facilities. For example, if we have some routine maintenance activities that we undertake. We have vehicles, both those that we've purchased and any maintenance expenses we incur on those vehicles. We have other depreciation expenditure, as well as the rent paid out for our premises. If we're renting the office that we're in, the monthly rent that we pay would go here. We also have inventory. If we have inventory in stock, the value of that inventory goes here. When we scroll down further, we come to our total for cash flow from investments. We then find our net increase in cash and cash equivalents, and this takes into account our total from cash flow from operations, as well as our cash flow from investments. When we scroll down even further, we notice that we have to enter our cash and cash equivalents at the start of the month. For example, whatever cash you held in hand, as well as the balance on your bank accounts at the beginning of the month. At the very bottom, what we have calculated for us is our cash and cash equivalents at the end of the month. This takes into account what we had in the beginning of the month, as well as our net increase that we had. The whole purpose of the cash flow statement is to track the inflow and outflow of cash from your business. So we save, as we've done previously, and wait for the appropriate message to appear at the top of the page. Once we see this message, we then proceed to scroll down the page again and close out of the document. This brings us back to the cash flow dashboard.